I mean, what you looking at? Oh. Celestial rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful divine mirage watching this mindful message. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger. We are back with another, just an observation today. And understand, if you choose to enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And I don't want to waste your time or anything like that. So today I committed timeline alchemy. You thought I was gonna say a crime or some shit? Relax, you got worried? Like, come on, relax. I'm not like that. Just one. But I committed timeline alchemy, and when I did that, I got into a fight with my ego today, and it's been the most difficult thing to master, but that's why it's being mastered, and it's already going through mastering. Because when you're already mastering the mind does not want to work for you. And the thing is too, so many things that have happened to where I had to control what I wanted to say, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to feel in certain situations, because a lot of things don't need your reaction. That's why when you start reacting a certain way, you start understanding that life cannot react the way that you wanted to react itself into flowing. Because when you let the program and nature of things flow, you stop giving order to what you cannot control. You can't control how other people will react in certain instances. You can't control how somebody feels. You can't control how somebody talks. You can't control how somebody walks or even thinks. And the thing is too, there are a lot of times where my ego thinks too much of itself, and I have to quiet it down, because you know better. And it's as if currently my ego's been wanting to just sit back and be lazy. And I'm saying that because I'm going through it right now as far as the internal battle, because spiritually, I don't want to call it that, so I apologize for name calling. You know what? Disclaimer, my bad. You're new here, so contradict everything, question everything. And when I say that, that basically means I'm either right nor wrong, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But understand, when I tell you that, I am lying in my truth. So by all means, I strive to tell you the truth, but even though I am telling you the truth, it's going to be a lie no matter what. So how can you contradict that internally within your mind? Because your mind does not belong to you, and it's not your own. Collectively in consciousness, on like quantum realms, life should be like an episode that you continuously watch. Your favorite show, your favorite sitcom, your favorite movie. When you keep going back to those memories, how do you feel? Was that your best time? Was that your best moment? Yeah, it probably was, right? Well, it shouldn't be. You need to create new ones. You need to create the life that you keep seeing every day. And I know a lot of times it's going to sound repetitive when I do tell you that, but for today, because today's all you have, especially for this video, when you know what you want to do, because I know there's some people who say, I want to do this in life, but 5 months from now, you don't know what you want to do. Maybe 6 months, 7, 8, 9. And the thing is too, that could be projection, but that's not what I mean. Because you never know what you are going to mean to do when it's time for you to start making meaning for your life to society. Because how will you contribute to society when you learn what you had to do in this world? Because in this world, all you have is your actions. You can think all you want, but your thoughts don't matter. There's no action behind it. If you want to go somewhere in life, if you want to exist somewhere, if you want to buy something, invest in something, save on something, if you want to learn something new about yourself, you have to let go of being afraid of what that looks like. and let it look like whatever by doing what you want to do for today. Today is how you get there. But there is not there because you haven't been there before. But see, I just lied in my truth, so I apologize for not saying sorry. Because when you know that when you're in that realm and you can see yourself being there, you understand that the world that I'm in the future's timeline, I can alchemize that for today by going through Inception. So when I go to bed at night, what am I putting in my mind? Okay, what do you mean? What I'm saying is, for example, there's a car driving by and they're slowing down. And you have to understand that a lot of people get curious on what they haven't seen before because it's different. Working looks different when you think differently on what you want to work on. And I forgot my train of thought, but whenever you're alchemizing the timeline of where you want to be and who you want to be and what you want to know, you got to tell yourself, how am I able to go through Inception? I remember saying that. And then how are you able to place that dream into what you see for today? You have to be able to know what you want to dream about. Exactly, there we go. Before you go to bed, what will you attract? Meaning, are you on your phone looking at people getting shot in the head, people getting beat up, looking at porn, looking at nudes, looking at pictures, photos, videos, whatever? Are you wasting your energy, basically? Are you looking at things that have no contribution to your life? I would even say contribution. I want to say a handout. Can these things give you a handout that help you enhance in life? What can they help you do by you looking at it? You don't even know, because how can you grow from what you're looking at if it's not healthy? And of course, yeah, I know, who wants to eat vegetables and fruits for their whole life? Nobody wants to do that. I know. You can have cheat meals. You can have cheat days for sure. But you can't forget what you told yourself. The ego has to remind you. Oh, did you forget it was going to be you versus you? Because you don't even know what you thought about today. You just had a thought 10 minutes ago, but that thought wasn't even yours. Where do you get it from? You had to observe it. So when you look into the fountain of youth, where are you placing that inner child for today? What does that look like? Do you remember how you used to be? Do you remember what water parks felt like when you were able to actually go and look to the left and to the right and see your family next to you, enjoying what you're enjoying? Have you ever felt joy? Have you ever felt prosperous? Have you ever felt comfort to where you knew that you were okay? No matter what you did, you already told yourself that I already know I'm safe, so I don't have to worry. But, you have to grow up and start being aware of your surroundings and your environment for sure, because you never know. But that's exactly why you know what you have to be safe in. And not only just being safe, but know that you're already protected by being safe 24/7. You always got your head on the swivel no matter what. But even with your life, you got to tell yourself, if I want to be lazy for today, what could I have done tomorrow? Because when tomorrow hits, will you still repeat that same pattern? It's a behavior now that you identify with. Oh, I'm going to be tired for today. That's cool. You had a long week, by all means. Do what you feel will fit best for you. But for some people, it's not best for them. It's not best for me. And that's what's wrong with me. I'm insane. But why would insanity even call itself insane in the first place? I mean, because to be insanity, you had to grow up from being insane. But then after insanity, do you become psychotic? And then people will say, uh-oh, that's psychosis. But then people will say, uh-oh, that's this or that. Don't talk about yourself like that, because when you tell yourself one thing and then you go against it, you now get to learn where you always been in the future, because you're looking back at what you had to work on now. And the thing is too, can't make it up. Hold on, look at him. Can't make it up. And the thing is too, with what you want to do in life, you should never give up on your inner child. Because those are the things that hurt the most, is those good years. No, make new ones. It's okay. Because if you have somewhere to be in life, make sure you get there. You shouldn't have somebody getting up telling you what you need to do. No, be your own motivation now. A lot of times the world is going to have to bully you or punch you down because they don't want to see you rise up into your best self. Keep on pouring that love. Keep on appreciating what you need to be focusing on. You should not give up on your vision. A lot of people have done that already, and that's what hurts the most, so they stay here. And yeah, I refuse to let them stay here, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go where I wanna go. I can't tell you where you should go, but if you see me about to swim and you ask me, what does that water feel like? What does that water taste like? Experience it for yourself. I can't let you know. But I'm telling you where to go. All you gotta do is just flow. And anything that you do, by being aware of how much time you waste, you cannot tell yourself, I expect to be here. I want to be like that. I'm thinking of this. I'm telling myself that. And then you don't act on it. That's the thing that also hurts the most as well. Why are people, like, I don't understand that. But the thing that hurts the most is the action put into the thought. Because when you're putting yourself into these thoughts, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing for the time being? So if you're being lazy, if you're not telling yourself, all right, if I lay down today, will I lay down tomorrow? Because you may tell yourself, no, I ain't gonna lay down tomorrow. But you never know, because you may not want to do your works. You may not want to make that artifact. You may not want to sculpt. You may not want to build. You may not want to go for the walk. You may not want to go cook. You may not want to do these things because it's tiring, it's time consuming. Okay, so when you say now, okay, I'm not going to paint today, I'm not going to make these videos for today, I'm not going to pay my car insurance, all right, don't do that and see what happens. So now you have to pick yourself up. You don't have somebody in your ear telling you, hey, you need to get up, hey, you need to do this or that, because there are some people who never had that. And that's what I've also been learning as well. Appreciate not having your parents. Because that's going to sting. Oh, what am I saying? Why am I talking like that? Because you had to get rid of them and parent yourself. But see, hold on. No. You don't just get rid of your birth givers, no. Even if they hurt you, love them from afar, because that's still love. That love has to go somewhere because it brought you here to this video. Because now, when you start giving that love to them, that's what you were destined to never be. Oh no. You alchemize yourself into the future that you want to be and what you want to see, because you had to be that every single day. So by getting up early, yeah, it's going to be tiring. It may be boring as well, but success is boring because you do it every day. But that's how you're able to save your money and you get what you want to get. So where now you're just playing with the money. And money's not even important to you, but you have it. I'm just trying to make sure no bugs are in my nose and all that, because, you know, these little insects just be flying everywhere and stuff like that. I don't know who's manufacturing the bug system and all that, but that's just bugged out today. So when I was realizing as well, the old timeline that I used to be in, I would waste that time because I wanted to lay down and I couldn't even do that. I got bored of laying down. That's how I knew, like, oh no, my thoughts are eating me alive. Because remember, you have that picture on my phone screen. You have the messages that you tell yourself, Darius, I'm talking to myself. So when I realized that I'm now holding myself accountable for what I said, you know you had to make videos. You missed a day, but don't miss today. You missed a day, but don't miss today. But bro, you need to take days off, but you've been consistent. And you don't just stop because you feel a sort of way. No, you keep on going. Even if you take a break, don't stop. How you gonna start and then stop? No. You have to always push through because you never know where you can be by what you're doing every day. So even when I stood up, I had video ideas. Already showed you all the video idea on my computer and all that. And the thing is too, that was an hour and 10 minutes, that's good. already had 2 TikTok videos from our new page. And I was like, that's good. Barely getting the views, that's even better. Let's keep on going. They had to silence you because you can't be silenced by you anymore. My ego wanted to stay quiet today and just say, nah, you don't got to post today. Fuck that. What do you mean? Why are you talking to me like that? I'm just letting you know, fuck that. You know this is my body. Who is my body? When I ascend that body, that's already been activated by light. And I said, what do you mean? I retain the way. Excuse me. I retain the way I want to be. Same for you. So I said, you never give up. You know that. Because eventually, mom and dad not going to be here no more. You have to do all that you can for them. And this is not to say that you have to make a promise to yourself or even talk to yourself on what you're going to do. You just do it. And how do you do that? You got to be consistent in boredom. I was so bored, I had no choice but to do what I'm doing right now. I said because there's a higher path that I can see. And it's not even that I'm seeing it, because if I told you I could see it, that would be delusion talking at that point. That's psychotic. That would be psychosis. So to avoid that, you just paint a picture. Let's just go ahead and implement art into it, right? I mean, Picasso can do it. Da Vinci can do it. I mean, other AI programmers can do it, because did you think your ancestors were really the images that you can see on Google? If you go on Google, or if you go on Pinterest, or if you go on social media and just look up an image of your ancestors, is that what you really look like? You don't even know what you look like, but that's the image that we follow. And so when you follow stories, what do you start programming yourself to act upon? The stories that you read. But if you've never been in the situation that you read, then how will you know what you were in? And if you were never in that situation, then how are you living to begin with? That's the thing. We're not even alive, nor are we dead. So we're going through an observation that can only make sense to itself. But you have to go away from your senses to realize that by sitting still. Okay. So when I sat still and stood up, I told myself, okay, Darius, you don't got to post today. You can lay down, you can chill, you can do whatever you want. But all I know is, so you're going to feel yourself. Who are you talking to? Oh, all of a sudden you're going to do something about it? What am I doing right now? I don't know. Maybe you prove me right, maybe you prove me wrong. Either way it goes, who are you proving yourself to? That's the thing, it's to no one. Because we're just flowing. Every time you go through something, you just post about it. That's exactly why when you're creating what you want, for example, you're gonna see 2 cars flow by. When you're doing what you want to do, all you have to do is focus on you, because people are going to watch and observe what you are doing every single day. They never seen the actions that you're committing. You're grounding. You're going outside and you're seeing the illusion. And the thing is too, there is no, what I realized being out here in the country, I realized that there is no nature. All there is me going back to what protects me. The observation of my mother. And she shines so bright that it still has no image of light or dark. And that's what keeps the alchemy alive, because I had to realize that every time I'm going through something, I gotta play with that emotion immediately. If I sit on it, if I don't act on it, if I don't react a certain way, I'm not living. Remember, I gotta tell myself, you are being human for the experience, but you're not the human experience. And then that's what I experienced, the lies of being human. So where I told myself, it's okay to do this or that. It's not okay for me to be lazy, because I want to be able to do a front flip. Excuse me. Sorry, my throat gateway is going through, confirmation, because I'm just speaking my mind, honestly. What I realized, I want to do a front flip on my bed to where my bed is so massive that I can make a video on my bed and you can see the background of my pillow and it looks like I'm in a video game. But realistically, welcome to my new room. Welcome to my new this or that. And I showed you that even if I go through the struggle, I'm gonna still succeed because you cannot fail. As a man, I realize what you're doing as far as your career, it's either act upon that, worry about who's looking, worrying about who has an opinion on it, or just die. If you go about the world focusing on what people think about you as far as rejection, you'll never know that woman was for you. You'll never know that guy could help you get a job opportunity. You'll never know. He may give you a place to stay for free because he has it like that. And you never know because you're afraid to talk to him because you envy him and what he had on. Whole entire time, that's a fallacy that he wanted you to see that to where you can attract that same exact thing too. So why are you looking at it through envy and not admiration or inspiration? That's why I told myself, reprogram your identity by not going on social media today. Oh, I was going to say something way too fast. On social media today. So that's when now I'm channeling the energy. Somebody will say, because you know there are some people who have their own opinion. They'll say that's satanic, that's Luciferian, that's negative, that's this or that. Please do not demonize energy work. Because when you want to channel energy, all you're doing is channeling yourself. But I say yourself because remember, you don't have a body. You are observing yourself thinking throughout the body's expression that you voice, which is exactly why we have a voice to express the way we feel about things that we think about. But when you stop thinking about your thoughts, who's thinking for them? That's exactly why there is no God, but you understand that there is a label that you would interpret to be God-like. Because what is God-like if God is not God's real name? Once you understand that and go outside name calling, you go into a higher realm that leeches off of what you subconsciously think about, which is exactly why there are such things as monitoring spirits. Because when you're able to alchemize the spiritual energy, your energy, now we're getting attuned. When I said channel, I just turned on the TV. Mind control myself. Because once I understood, I see dimensions as like a ladder. So, okay, plane of existence. So if somebody wants to say, is the earth flat, round, a sphere, hollow? It's neither. But it'll be a hollow, flat sphere that people think is round. But that's your lens, that's your perception. The earth has no shape. You see the earth through your lens. That's why people have a debate about flat and round spheres upon the earth. It does not fucking matter because you're not even in the earth, but your body thinks it is. That's why the mind lies to itself, because you're not being in the experience. But when you get hit with a bullet, when you get hit by a truck, when you get hit by a train, you feel that nightmare. Yeah, that's what life will do to you if you're not paying attention to what you have to focus on, which is why every day you have to broadcast the energy that you want to work with. Because remember, your demons work for you because you are a demon slayer. So these animes tell you about yourself if you watch correctly. Even in certain shows or the movies that you act upon, those things also broadcast who you are internally as well. But it's up to you to decide what you want to watch and place upon your identity. But once you put your energy over your emotions, you realize that your emotional state of mind was a fallacy. It was a flaw in the system that you observed watching because you learned from it. What I realized by me getting up, not wanting to make a video and making 4 videos today, excuse me, I was determined to be in my alignment because every day I can see where I'm supposed to go. And I just can't wait to show my future how hard work really does give you the best results when you focus on what you think about every single day. And I know a lot of times it doesn't make sense. I know a lot of times interpretations do happen, but that's exactly why I can only materialize the things that I give myself, and that's just a physical fallacy that I don't even want to be in, but I want to think about sometimes. And there are some times to where I go against what I told myself. I'm not going to sit here and say I tell the truth to myself every single day, but the thing is though, when I contradict that lie, I realize that me getting up and working on my future and my present is the most important thing that I can do, which is why all I can do is apologize to myself for acting upon my nature. And that's exactly why too, I want to protect so many people, and that's not my job. That's exactly why, getting away from certain jobs that had to let you go, that's why I just been learning, because a lot of times I wanted to get frustrated. And is that frustrating wanting to go through that? It is. It is frustrating wanting to feel that emotion, but that's the lie, because it never happened. It's just the play that was going to play itself out anyways. It had to happen in that person's movie that I came across. We're going to come across different collective consciousness, but who's controlling it? Once I realized that there are higher mind controllers, there's nothing to worry about, because when you observe the lies that people say to themselves, people place different labelings, different networkings that tell on themselves. And a lot of times too, by me going through the past, I've been able to overcome those loops that were bringing me down, because I'm witnessing myself going through the cycle that's being broken by my nature. And once I just get out in nature and just start creating, there's no way I can't be the creator that I see myself being. I just have to remain disciplined. And that's the one thing that I get lazy of doing, but it has to be done. And of course I can say I don't mind doing it, but my mind, my nature is going to want to do its thing. And I have to respect that. But what I also understand is as well, I control my outcome in life. I control what I want to be doing. So I already understand that it's 5:27, and I gotta make sure that the gym will still be open, so I gotta work out. Man, I don't have to, but it's a want. Not even a need, but it's a desire that I should be doing. I should be growing into the man that I want my future to see. And that's the one thing that my inner child isn't understanding of. But I told my inner child today too, that everything that I'm doing is just me noticing the patterns that I needed to grow up in. But I won't let go of what I'm working on for sure, because I do want to have fun in life for sure. But my thing is, knowing me, when I had too much fun, I don't become focused. That's exactly why the game became boring, because when I just was laying there and the sun was shining in my room, the room that I showed y'all, and myself as well, because I want to hold on to these things when I get older. Realistically, like I want to be able to look back on these videos and just be like, damn, bro, came a long way. But when I was just laying there in my room, seeing the sun shine upon my room, it was as if everything was just frozen in time. And it was as if I can control the man I want to become, because I tell myself too, I'm not making videos in this predicament right now. And somebody will say, well, you somewhat are. And that's exactly why too, I want to tear down these brick mindsets that come from sorcerers, because I choose to observe this consciousness. Now, of course, as well, my phone gonna overheat and all that, and there's no table, because I wanted to show y'all too the creek over there and all that, but I need to bring my table next time. But it's not like back at home and all that, but anyways, it's all good. So but with just symbolism though, at least though, you being able to see this, you understand the symbolism, and we're able to expose it every single day no matter what. And that's exactly why too, once I keep reflecting, I realize that you're doing everything that you gotta do if you just remain where you want to be. And I say that because who I am today is not what I want to be tomorrow. And somebody be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Exactly. It doesn't make sense to me, because who I am today may feel great, but I know that tonight I gotta be better tomorrow. So I know I need to be studying as well, because I got an assignment, but I passed my quiz and all that. Still got to review some work, but it's like my nature doesn't want to do that, but we have to do that. And I caught myself studying, going to class, and even just studying in class as well, and just helping out with answers. I don't know, I just really didn't come to play around. And I understand too, of course, as far as maturity, you know, I definitely do enjoy having fun. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't be getting lit behind closed doors, because I do for sure. But my thing is though, no matter how lit I get, I always wanna do my future. And I say that because I want my future to be by my side, because it's helped me become a way better man, because I can see what I'm doing every single day by just wanting to do it. And I don't have to do it, but it's just something inside me that just feels righteous about it, because ever since I've been getting connected with just a higher source that we would call God, life has just been working in my favor to where things are just working out for me. And yet, it's still not working out for me. But that's what's working out for me. Knowing that my appreciation for everything that I get introduced to is only because I choose to do right by my past. Knowing that all things I did wasn't who I was just wanting to fit in. I told myself, stop doing that. Stop feeling like you need to be next to somebody. Stop feeling like you gotta be around somebody. It's okay for people to do their own thing. It's okay for people to want to live their life. You go ahead and live yours, because what's the problem with that? And once I realized that, I said, you know, even though I choose to be alone, I really want to be next to the language of the Almighty, because it sounds so abundant to where it makes no noise. I can sit in peace to where it doesn't bother me anymore. It's as if, like, when I listen to silence now, it's as if I have a pacifier in my mouth, because it literally feeds my inner youth. And it's to where my ideas become so fruitful, to where it's nothing now to make a video. There are a lot of times, I have so many ideas, I'm not gonna lie to you, I honestly forget to make the Gematria videos, because I'm just out here creating different topics, to where I said, no, you gotta get back to the Gematria teaching. So even after this video as well, I'm gonna knock out the Kyrie video for you all. But you know, just what I noticed, just understanding that language, it feels so surreal, because I now get to grow into my spirit every day, to where the simulation dissolves, because it was never realistically being here. But that's the energy right there, because the energy trap is like a maze, for example. So if you observe the maze, you're observing the energy move through different paths that it's basically following. And there's always going to be this difference, like a ghost and Pac-Man. So when you're moving, the ghost and Pac-Man will stop you from reaching those different dots or whatever to get through the level. But you have to be able to get different power-ups. Your power-ups are your fruits. So the cherry, for example, when the cherry would drop down, Pac-Man will go through this. Or if this little something else will pop up, Pac-Man will go through that, to where you can even eat the ghost. So you have these different power-ups, and your power-ups are your thoughts, because you have to help yourself out, which is why you do need help in life. But remember, all help is not good help. A lot of times people can't even help themselves, so how can they help you in life? They can't even help themselves get up early to get their day started. They get their day started later. Nothing wrong with that at all, but you getting your stuff done early, you choose to do things later, to where you're doubling up your work ethic. The shit don't stop because even if you get to a different location, like where I have my own space, it's still not enough for me. I want a newer space. And even when I tell myself, and I had to expose Kobe as well, but I'm referencing the mindset because Kobe's a character. Kobe didn't know that Kobe was on the Lakers. So Kobe didn't even know that Kobe was drafted by the Hornets, I think. But yeah, Kobe didn't know who Kobe was. Kobe was just playing a role. And the character's not even dead. The role died, literally, in your movie that you were watching. Excuse me. So, confirmation or water. It doesn't matter because water is the source that you breathe in. So, because technically we are literally fish underwater. So air basically is water. So if you swim underwater, that's basically your thoughts inverted. Because if you put that upside down, what's holding the water up? If there's water above our heads. See, I'm going too deep into the rabbit hole. But my bad, let me get back on track. So, and what I realized too with the alignment, to where me telling myself in past videos, you know, I want to be the greatest, like, content creator. I want to be the greatest this and that. You know, that comes more with the journey. It comes more with the practice. It comes more with never giving up, because I'm just doing things that I don't have to sacrifice. I don't have to get rid of, because I can still keep my morals intact. That's exactly why it's not heard of anymore to be purified, to stay righteous, to stay enlightened. And I mean enlightened with the contradiction, because a lot of times people have this one-track mind to where they don't want to hear anybody out. And my thing is too, I accept feedback, I accept criticism, I accept judgment, I accept opinions. That's exactly why I will never shit on anybody's journey or anybody's ego as well, because I realize that the things that I want in life can be taken from me because I don't appreciate it through someone else. No. That's exactly why me showing love to myself only can be translated to other people as well. That's exactly why seeing so many people tell me about how they're doing in life, it just showed me that I'm growing. And it's honestly just a feeling that I can't even describe anymore. I'm just going through it. And I know I see myself in the car that I want, because as y'all can see as well, I'm gonna show y'all my baby. I call her Harmony. My little Nissan right there. Somebody gonna be like, oh shit, my boy driving the Nissan and shit. Yeah, cause, and I don't mind showing y'all that, because I ain't gonna lie, it gave me to point A to point B. If I wanna get food, I can get food. If I wanna go get some snacks, I can go do that. If I wanna go to the movies, I can go do that. And the thing is too, women don't even care, truth be told. So a lot of people who feel as if you gotta get a flashy car, you don't. I'm speaking from experience, by the way. Because women would be like, you're just so authentic, I don't even care what you drive, because I know in the future you can get any car you want because you deserve it. Women treat me like the man they know they want to have, but because they may not be able to meet my requirements or meet my mental capacity, they silence themselves. But when I confront them, when I approach them, when I communicate with them, they remain close to me, because I see another side of them that nobody else could express. And because of that, so many women show me love as well. And even with, you know, my male supporters as well, my guy supporters, I want you to just be a better man. You feel me? I want you to be a better man than me. But you can't be better than me, because we're not in competition. But I know when you watch it, you have to be working on something, young man, and older man as well. I don't believe in age and shit, but you know, a child, a teenager, young adult, an elder, you can tell. So you can't sit here and say age ain't a thing, because it is. But you know, obviously, spiritually, numbers don't exist and all that, but they had to exist to keep people's nature in order, because people are psychotic, people are chaotic. And they act on that every single day. Are they wrong for that? No, but in Satanism, the spell casting of that frequency allows what? Unconsciousness. So it's like, every day, my nature has to realize we're in a new timeline. which is really why this whole video is just basically about timeline alchemy, because I know they don't teach that in school and all that, but it's really just you working with timeline. Because my thing is too, it's like Galactus. I haven't even seen the new Fantastic Four, but I do love movies. But I want to go see weapons too. I want to see Superman. I want to see all these movies, but I can go see them for free. But excuse me, the thing is, like Galactus, for example, I feel like my spirit is just larger than that. And it's so gigantic to where I consume the thoughts that I digest every single day. And the thing is, I can't sit here and say I don't have negative thoughts, because I do every single day. So I be telling myself, you don't gotta keep doing this. But I be going against myself and saying, I'm gonna keep doing it because you say you don't gotta keep doing this, because I don't know what can happen. But I know if I stop, I know what will happen, what I don't see happening. So from seeing that happening, I'm going to keep doing it because I trust myself. And it's basically like I jumped off the cliff and I said, I'm going to eventually learn how to fly on my own. That's what I'm learning. To where a lot of times women don't even care. They even admit to being a future wife and to taking care of me and all that. I'm not sitting here saying that it's a good or bad thing, but I just truly don't be giving a fuck. But a lot of times women do care because they want to see me grow, because they realize that I don't hold nothing back from them. So when younger crowds tell me, bro, we be lying to these hoes, or we be lying to these women and all that. And to me, disclaimer, hoes, bitches, sluts, these are women who act down a lower vibration, who act down a lower way of thinking for themselves. So they give their body off for money, or they give it off for free because they want to feel attached to somebody. They give it off because they want to catch up to somebody. They give their body away because they want to be next to celebrities, or they want to be in Freemasonry, they want to do this or that. That's just them. But women who are in a higher consciousness, we call them, I wouldn't even call them a name, but we know what they are. Like, to me, internally, that to me is God. That's the woman that deserves everything. She deserves to be spoiled, because even if she leaves your life, it was a great experience. But no matter what, if a woman really fucks with you, she will never forget about you. Speaking from experience. Even if y'all stop talking, she'll always watch what you're doing. She'll always still come back to you, because she literally loves you. And I really understand that. There are so many of them that don't even tell me, but they watch, and I have to be aware of that, because that could really be a weakness that really has to be conquered. And the thing is too, it's really easy to conquer that, because all you gotta do is just see them as the spiritual beings that don't have to get objectified. Yeah, that's the word, right? Because people see them as objects. I was gonna say, stop seeing them as objects, basically. And when you do that, you see them as the beings that they are. And once you help a woman see herself, she'll appreciate you, literally. And I see that a lot. A lot of them are shy for sure, but that doesn't mean you have to push up on everything, young man. And men my age, men who are older, you don't gotta always push up, because they'll always be focusing on you. When they see you, they may not approach you, but a lot of times I catch myself just saying, hey, how are you? And a lot of times they'll look at me, they have to look up, they'll be like, I'm doing good, how are you? I'm doing good, you have a great day. Thank you. We keep it moving. But you look good. It's like when I'm saying something, but there's no need for me to keep the conversation going, because I don't know what kind of shit you got going on. But I'm just saying what's up, just to see if I got it. A lot of times I shoot the ball just to see if I can still shoot it and make the shot. I don't really care to score, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it one bit, but just breaking the cycles, because I realized too, because knowing much about my left brain and right brain as far as parenting, I had to be able to be in tune with my parents' genetics as well, and what they trickled down upon me, and just my database, I'll say my station, basically, my vessel station and all that, but just understanding what they did and how they did it, but not being comfortable in it and creating my own. It's different, because I know what it feels like to have a parent, but I want to be able to parent my parent, because it's just hard for my parent to parent when she got to hold up her end, you feel me? And, you know, that's what I want. I want to be able to, you know, help my mom, and that's what I'm doing for sure. I can't wait to show y'all that, not even just y'all, but 'cause I know somebody's watching for sure, but I can't wait to show myself, because I really just want to be an example. If I can do it, so can you. And you don't got to sell yourself to do it. You can do it the right way by keeping your spirit next to you. Don't have that disconnect. People feel as if they're spiritual. You're not spiritual because you watch spiritual videos. You're not spiritual because you go on TikTok or Instagram and you watch reels of people talking about spirituality. Anybody can fucking do that. I can do that shit. You can do that shit. It's not that hard. Just do what you live. But people aren't living like that. They're watching and copying. So when you're creating, you do it every single day because you live it. It should be a contradiction to really be spiritually in tune with yourself, because you don't want to do it. A lot of people want to do regular shit. They want to go party. They want to drink. They want to smoke. They want to fuck. They want to masturbate. They want to play the game. They want to eat all day. They want to be lazy. They want to spend money all day. They want to do normal shit. They want to shoot dice. They want to go party. They want to do whatever. People want to play the game. People want to talk to their homie. People want to talk to girls on the phone. People want to be laid up all day. People want to just do whatever. That's their normalcy. People who are average, they do those type of things. But successful people, what I'm realizing is they have a different path that isn't regular. They're doing the things that aren't normalized because they're going outside themselves to do what isn't talked about. That's why people talk about what they're doing, because they want to be successful in groups. That's the thing. Leaders lead by themselves in groups. People in groups lead themselves by being around other leaders who are still followers. If you are in a group of other leaders, you are not a leader. You are a follower of leaders who think they're leaders. But a leader does not tell you what they're leading in. You deem them as so, because that's what they always been. That's exactly why there's really no point in me having my own path. That's where I'm supposed to be, because no matter what, even for my brother, you know, I can't wait to get him that life as well, to where he doesn't have to worry. I don't have to worry ever again, because as y'all can see, I'm appreciative of my circumstance, my environment, but I know I can do better. I know I can. To where I can tell my mom, hey, you never had to worry about me or my brother again. I got you for life. To where now the conversations mean something. And it's unfortunate that money has to do that. It's unfortunate that status and persona and aroma and essence is a thing. But unfortunately, for the nature of things, of trauma, through Luciferianism, it has to be, unfortunately. But when you're spiritually capable of being where your higher self is, you already understand that what you're doing is a justification of how spiritually inclined you are to being the best version of your higher self. Nobody knows what that looks like, but it feels so different to be around that. It's where people care to hear your voice. I know as myself in class, to where one of the teachers was talking about something with the nature of things, whatever. Oh, it's just like about culture and all that, how things are different, something like that. And I said communication barrier. And she was like, okay, explain how that is. And I said, oh, my bad. I thought you were going to move on to the next slide. And she was like, oh, no, it's okay. You can go ahead and say what you were saying. I was just showing the next slide. I said, okay. So when I was talking, I had to realize that you should not be shy of voicing your opinion, because remember, it's all an experience. I see life as a movie at this point. Every day, things are happening, whether I care about them or not. And it's obviously unorthodox. It'd be some weird shit happening. It'd be normal, it'd be chaotic. There's a lot of things that happen, but I don't care for that. I just know that I'm experiencing all walks of life compacted into one lie called imagination. Once I understood that underwater, I realized that in my dreams, I'm swimming my thoughts or swimming with my thoughts. Well, I'm watching myself swim with my thoughts, but I'm not swimming in my thoughts. So when I understood that when I watch myself communicate, I'm being careful of how I'm expressing myself. So, talking firm, confident, got my words out, articulated very well to where people, I can see them shaking their heads. And I noticed that the eyes are just watching me communicate because I was told recently that my voice is soothing. So, when I heard that, I said, that must be how peace sounds like when you are just not even content, when you're dissatisfied with life. And I say dissatisfied because you're still knowing that you gotta do some more work, but with where you are right now, you're thankful, you're enjoying the moment. And I'm literally vibrating next to that, and it feels so wholesome because I'm just unified with ignorance. And I say that because no matter what, I love the lies that aren't true. So what is the truth? I don't even know it. But I talk like I know it every day because you know what? I know I do. But I know that I don't have to talk about it. Just do what you're doing. I didn't expect this video to even be 15 minutes long, but I had to get this off my chest because I understand even when you go through it as well, you're going to go through a difference in life to where it's going to feel so unfamiliar, it'll be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid of that. Embrace that, walk through it, and trust yourself. Take a leap of faith and know that you can catch yourself because you can vision where you already are. And being where you are, what house do you see yourself in? I can see myself being in a comfortable environment. I have so many properties. I can see myself just showing my future like, hey, you obtained this house, you obtained that car, you obtained this business, you obtained this for your clothing brand, you obtained this for that. Look what you did for your family. I can show myself this because when I look back on it, I did something for my life. I wasn't just wasting it doing nothing. And a lot of times I feel like in my bloodline, the male perspective, they probably are used to doing nothing, so they thought as if having excuse me, having a woman cater to them or provide for them was the thing. I'm not opposed of it, but I'm not requiring myself to be reliant on that at all whatsoever. That to me is unacceptable. If I really love you, I care about you, I appreciate you, I'm gonna take care of you because no matter what, even if you leave my life, I don't care. I'm gonna obviously feel some kind of way, obviously. I mean, I'm still human. I'm gonna still think about you, but I'm gonna move on because I understand how to heal from that. It happens, it's life. We're gonna have our differences, we're gonna go through different whatevers. Excuse me, that's fine. Because that's how the script was gonna be. I'm not gonna sit here and get upset about it, no, but you have my number, you know what it is. You wanna see me pull up. That's how they always come back. You have that communication, you have that conversation. All it is just you alchemizing energy. Then all you do, you get her what she want. You correct her attitude. You rewire her mind. You gotta fuck her good. And excuse my French, but I'm just keeping it a stack. I'm not saying here saying that's the end all be all, but if she know what time it is, you know how to get her in line, she'll submit to you because you lay the law down. She know who daddy is. So you gotta treat her just like that because you're working that timeline. But once you're done, what do though? You still become a better man. You good? Yeah, you need something, you want some water, you want some fruit, you want a massage, like whatever. And she'd say, no, she good, she's tired, she wanna take a nap, or she wanna talk about your day, or what you're about to do, or she wants to hear a conversation from you, then you know she cares. But let her know. Like once you have your little communication, whatever you do, I can't say what you do with your girls or whatever, but however you do it, always put the energy towards you. No matter what you do, you always alchemize that into the better man that you want to be. Meaning that you have some more work to do as a man. Go get those weights, go lift them, go for that walk, go sit in silence. Like literally, being able to see this, I mean, I don't know. I can't sit here and tell myself that I made it in life, but I want to make something different in my life for sure. I'm not comfortable where I am. to where, I mean, I made a difference for myself, because there are some people who still live with their parents. Nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever, because those times are what keep you and I in humility. That's why I'm always thankful. I can't wait to buy my mom a house. Excuse me, I can't wait to see her start working. I just can't wait to pay her bills. And I don't have to do that, but I choose to do it. But it's not my obligation, so I'm not required into doing that. But if I want to do it, she'll be thankful for it. If I don't, she better be thankful for it. But I still appreciate her no matter what, because I'm going to do it regardless. Because no matter what, I want to see her live her best life. Even my little brother as well. You know, I want to be able to see my brother be his best version, to where he can be young and live freely, have his own, be his own man, to where he doesn't have to work in the system. You know, I'm required to go through all these storms. I'm required to go through all these challenges because I'm a test of time. I time myself to do certain things because I'm expected to be there. And a lot of times, you know, I get told, you know, I take life very seriously, basically. And a lot of people don't know that I do love to have fun. I do love to laugh and enjoy myself. I do love to appreciate what life has to offer. But when it's time to work, I have somewhere to be. People gotta remember, I'm dreaming right now. The only difference is you can see my dreams out loud. I don't gotta talk about them, but you watch them. And the thing is, too, I want you to know how to watch yourself. Because when you watch yourself become better, it's nothing to watch somebody else do the exact same thing because they're consistent with it. No matter what, don't let the program laziness stop you from being the best version of your higher self, because comfortability, laziness can harm you. No matter where you are in life, even if you make it somewhere, don't reflect on what you accomplish. Not saying that you shouldn't, understand. Disclaimer, contradict everything, question everything. I should have said that in the beginning, but the ending is our beginning for videos. I never really end them or begin the videos. You're just observing what I can never think about. So who's really thinking about them? So when you observe what you're breaking, what you're going through, you realize that, see, I forgot my thoughts. I was so deep into the rabbit hole. But once you accomplish the things that you already know you were going to get to, you understand that no matter what, you keep on going. Because remember, if you tell yourself you made it, if you tell yourself, oh, I did this, I did that, you're lying. But you're lying if you also don't tell the truth. That's so frustrating, but that's why you alchemize that feeling and know it's no harm upon you if you are harming yourself by thinking too hard on what doesn't matter. Experience that flow state and be present in the moment. You can't worry about what somebody else is doing. You never compare, because that will rob you of enjoying your life. You're living your life because you were destined to be here at some choice that you made in your past. And once you know why you're here, you had to make up what you have purpose in. And you had to act on that to where it's not a job, but you get paid for it. But you can't give up because you feel like chilling today. You don't have time for that. You can chill when you're dead. And yes, it's tiring. Yes, it takes a lot of energy. Yes, it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of removal, a lot of sleepless nights. It takes a lot of fasting, a lot of crying, a lot of anger. It takes a lot of sad times, but it can also bring you enjoyment of how much work you put in. When I study the great minds of this world, that's why I am in school for psychology. That's why I study philosophy. I study all these different brain networking theologies, or whatever you want to call them, because I'm infatuated by the mind, to where it doesn't make sense. It's complicated for no reason, but that's why we have to make reasoning with complications by understanding them. You don't have to understand anything, because if you do, then you will put yourself above the labeling. But remember, you're still under a label. Are you not? If you call yourself God, you're under mind control. If you call yourself a human, you're under mind control. If you call yourself your name, you're under mind control. If you call yourself a gender, you're under mind control. If you call yourself a number or an age, you are under mind control. If you call yourself a skin color, you are under mind control. If you call yourself living in a certain state or whatever, you're under mind control. If you think as if you're creating content, you're under mind control. If you think as if you're eating food and you're living life, you're under mind control. That's exactly why once you realize the controlling of the mind, you have to be observing of what you watch yourself doing. Remember, your nature will do what it wants regardless, but your mind has to be stronger than matter. Because remember, you do not matter to life. You have to make matter matter. You have to make it matter because you alchemize it into different fields of labels that you want to identify with. And wherever you're going, you have to identify with the lies, obviously. If you want to be successful, do you not got to attract success? Do you not got to tell yourself affirmations of success, right or wrong? Don't say right, because you know what it is. When you tell yourself, I am this, I am attracting that, I am thankful for this, I already obtained that, whatever, you're training the mind to think as if you have it, and you do. You're lying to yourself, but is that not the truth when you do get it? So something worked. Something worked. It was your actions, because you had to remain disciplined and being consistent with the things that you want to enjoy. I really can't wait. I done made videos on a cruise ship, in a different country, over the water, in a beach, in hotels, in different rooms, my room, nature, to where none of it matters because we're here today. That's what matters the most, knowing that we can appreciate the little things in life once you go through them, and you got to show people that you are not bigger than life. And I'm so thankful to think like that. No matter what I obtain, I want you to obtain more, because I already did it already. I want you to obtain more than me, because I don't care. I don't care for competition. What am I competing with? Your past? Cool, I don't care. You can have so much for so long to where it won't matter if you don't have it today. What was the point? You sacrificed your nature for what you don't have today. What was it for? Money? Pussy. Whoa, my fault. I didn't mean to talk about elite gender inversions and shit like that, but I didn't mean to make this video too long. But no matter what you do, the timelines that you want to go into, alchemize your emotions for today. Remember, energy, that's literally moving through motions. Your emotions project your actions. Your nature will do what it wants regardless. Once you learn that programming or your script, you identify with the new path that you create. But if you're creating in lower intentions that are hateful and negative and spiteful, you're not going to have the life that you want. But when you move with positivity, when you move with love, when you move with health, admiration, and open-mindedness, when you move with these different things, it'll be confusing to a negative mind, but you moving in a positive will help you get to where you want in the long run. But once you keep doing that flow state of mind, you'll get so much more to where you'll get more and you'll never expect it to happen, because you're like, what is happening right now? What you've been working on. It's your time now, and people have to watch you be joyful what you obtain peace with. That's why you never hate on anyone. You always appreciate where you are in life. That's why people hate on other people, because they're not thankful for what they're in. When you're thankful, you can have it all times 10. So what are you hating on? What are you not appreciating? Why are you not loving where you're supposed to be for today? Have a great divine day, divine reflection.